My name is Stretto. Welcome to episode 10 of Pink Elephant Foxtrot. This is your brain on Freud. Our first segment deals with the commercialization and privatization of space and is called exospermia, or the stench of our exported musk. My father was a part-time fence for the mob. Throughout my childhood, things would mysteriously appear in our basement. Crates of shrink-wrapped vinyl, piles of designer jeans, and cigarettes. Boxes and boxes of cigarettes. So perhaps I shouldn't have been surprised when one October evening my father came home with a pair of tickets to the World Series. When I asked where he got them, he gave me his stock reply: "They fell off a truck." When I think back to the chaos and pandemonium that escalated the closer we got to Yankee Stadium, it seems a good starting point to imagine the hoopla that would surround an intergalactic World Series. Live from Zeta Reticuli, it's the Intergalactic World Series on Fox. What do you think the announcer would say when Earth came up to bat? Good evening, humanoids, androids, and asteroids. Leading off this inning, from the planet that brought you war, torture, ethnic cleansing, genocide, biological and chemical weapons, environmental disaster, and nuclear annihilation, Earth. What would the reception be after that intro? Do you think we would receive a rousing round of applause and cheers? Or would Fox be mining their audio library to replace the ensuing boos with hollers left over from the Married with Children soundtrack? You would think that a race whose reputation precedes it as much as ours does would be a bit more cautious about exporting our flavor of crazy to the rest of the universe. But perhaps we have come full circle. Many scientists believe in panspermia, the concept that life on Earth was seeded with intergalactic material and/or DNA. I think it's safe to say that if this is true, it didn't work out as planned, and so perhaps we should re-examine our recent attempts at exospermia. The first high-profile project to export humanity's carbon footprint involved solely metaphorical DNA. On September 5, 1977, America launched the two Voyager spacecraft knowing full well that they would never return to Earth. Their mission was to explore the outer reaches of our solar system, but they have gone far beyond that goal. Scientist Carl Sagan outfitted each of the craft with a gold record that contains pictures, sounds, and music from Earth. The fact that they included Bach, Louis Armstrong, and Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Goode wasn't all too surprising. But Blind Willie Johnson's 1927 Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground? Not sure how that profound wail of the human condition made it into space, but in hindsight, it seems more than fitting. As solid gold intergalactic calling cards go, these two Terafile pressings were pretty benign. They didn't pollute or punch a hole in the space-time continuum, and they didn't contain any human DNA. Perhaps just as important, the intentions behind the discs and the Voyager project in general seemed, for the most part, altruistic, non-commercial, and guided primarily by curiosity and scientific discovery. All of that changed on October 30th, 1984, when President Ronald Reagan signed the Commercial Space Launch Act, which facilitated the privatization and commercialization of spaceflight. The ramifications would take many years to be fully felt, but they were profound. After the final flight of the Atlantis on July 21st, 2011, NASA ended the Space Shuttle program entirely, ushering in a new era of privatization. The United States government got into the business of funding billionaires in the development of technology that they were then free to sell and deploy at their own will, for their own political agenda and profit. And their agenda does not always run parallel to that of the US government. Because of our reliance on this new technology, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and several other unelected American oligarchs are accountable to no one and literally hold the keys to our kingdom. Since the Voyager project, profit and surveillance capabilities have taken a much higher priority than astrophysics. As of March 2024, SpaceX has launched so many Starlink satellites, over 5,000, that they are interfering with astronomers' abilities to make scientific observations in the night sky. And Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin are busy playing catch-up. When state-sponsored billionaires with narcissistic political and profit-driven agendas are allowed to commercialize exospermia, it does not bode well for the general population of our planet, or the universe. On January 8, 2024, a company called Astrobiotic Technology partnered with NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services Program, or CLPS, and launched the Peregrine Lunar Lander. Astrobiotic charged 1% clients a sum that can best be described as astronomical to carry and leave behind their human remains and DNA, and this did not sit well with Native Americans, particularly the Navajo Nation, who consider the moon to be sacred and the scattering of DNA and human remains there a desecration. It seems to me the Navajo were warning all of us that there are forces in this universe that should not be trifled with. So perhaps it is no surprise that the Peregrine mission failed. A propellant leak prevented it from leaving orbit, and on January 14th, Astrobiotic chose to burn the craft up in the Earth's atmosphere. The universe has been spared from humanity, for now at least. And back down on Earth, it gives us pause to contemplate our collective navel and the attempted reinsertion of a fiber optic umbilical cord. Is it really a good idea to share human DNA this millennium? To put it in tech speak, our platform simply isn't ready yet. Is there any way we can push that launch date back a little bit, say by 1,000 years? We should have the bugs worked out by then. Next on Pink Elephant Foxtrot, Loud Hailer. Sometimes it's hard to tell fact from fiction these days. Real lions from cardboard cutout lions. So here's a handy guide to help in a segment called The Lion Formerly Known as King. Complexion. Real lion, orange. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Behavior. Real lion, predatory. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Nickname. Real lion, king of the jungle. Cardboard cutout lion, king mob. Motto. Real lion, make the jungle wild again. Cardboard cutout lion, file an appeal. Habitat. Real lion, sub-Saharan Africa. Cardboard cutout lion, a series of interconnected ivory towers coated in Teflon with 24-karat gold plating. Work ethic. Real lion, oxymoron, has pride. Cardboard cutout lion, oxymoron, has no pride. Lifespan. Real lion, 8 to 10 years. Cardboard cutout lion, forever, blood intake dependent. Weight. Real lion, 250 to 400 pounds. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Sexual maturity. Real lion, 3 to 5 years of age. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Penis. Real lion, backward pointing spines. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Daily activities. Real lion, feeds and mates all day. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Sleep. Real lion, 16 to 20 hours a day. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Diet. Real lion, carnivore with a preference for raw meat. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Favorite meal. Real lion, poacher. Cardboard cutout lion, same, but with ketchup. Territorial behavior. Real lion leaves urine and feces. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Conflict. Real lion avoids biting unless absolutely necessary. Cardboard cutout lion avoids unclenching teeth unless absolutely necessary. Fight behavior. Real lion, hindquarters often targeted. Cardboard cutout lion, same. Manner of killing prey. Real lion, strangulation asphyxiation by enclosing mouth and nostrils. Cardboard cutout lion, same. By sucking every molecule of air out of every room. Favorite sound? Real lion, roar. Cardboard cutout lion, wah. Became king of pride by real lion, killing cubs and evicting younger males. Cardboard cutout lion, killing democracy and evicting reality. Oh. Strategy when challenged for dominance? Real lion, fight or die. Cardboard cutout lion, incite and lie. If you are confronted, real lion, stand your ground, Keep eye contact. Wave your arms. Shout. Cardboard cutout lion? Same. Get a bodyguard and a good lawyer, though, just in case. Next on Pink Elephant Foxtrot, Culture Crunch. In this installment, we take a look at your brain on Freud with a segment called Yellow Bow, Pool of Arrow. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. When a guy in the sky shoots a spear at your thigh, that's amore, to Dean Martin and Roman culture, or Oshun in Nigerian culture, or Parvati in Hindu culture, or Eros in Greek culture, or Hathor in Egyptian culture. Most cultures have gods and other mythological deities that represent love, fertility, and sex. From his face, Cupid doesn't belie the controversy that seems to surround his provocative activities. He seems so innocent, especially with that cute little blindfold. But recently, it was brought to light, literally, that a large image of Cupid in the background of Vermeer's painting Girl Reading a Letter at an Open Window had been painted over, and hence censored, for centuries. When the layer of paint was removed, several layers of meaning were added as far as the interpretation of the painting. The letter the girl is holding may not be as innocent as the painting's censor wanted us to believe. Humankind seems to have had a love-hate relationship with love and sex from the very beginning. In waking life, we have cultural, religious, and legal institutions that force us to reel in our instinctual desires and fantasies. But in dreams, these repressed feelings and desires can spill over. Although there is the concept of lucid dreaming, that the content of dreams can be steered during the dream by the dreamer, there is no such thing as lucid whitewashing. Dreams are in a unique realm of non-censorship. Not letting your freak flag fly while the wristband to the unconscious is on isn't really an option. Sexual content in dreams is inevitable across cultures, and there is much of that in Storyboard of a Dream, represented in the naked columns and in the transitions from window to window. The interesting thing is that I didn't do any of this intentionally. Was my brain predisposed to such Freudian imagery? When I was in college, I took a course taught by a noted dream researcher and sociologist, Dr. G. William Domhoff. Dr. Domhoff worked with the psychologist Calvin Hall to develop a quantitative analysis of patient dream journals. Freud and Jung focused on individual dreams, but Hall and Domhoff looked for patterns over long periods of time. Despite this new approach to analyzing dream journals rather than individual dreams, both Dr. Domhoff and Dr. Hall were still devout admirers of Sigmund Freud. Nowhere was this more evident than in the title of the course I took with Dr. Domhoff. I'm not making this up. The course was called The Oedipal Animal. Dr. Domhoff had us keep a journal in which we were to interpret our daily lives with an eye towards Freudian symbolism and imagery. On the one hand, it was very instructive to see how Freud viewed the world, but in the end, it made me side with Jung, who was Freud's heir apparent until their relationship fractured along the following lines. Jung disagreed with Freud and believed that not everything in dreams is sexual or wish fulfillment, except when it is. And although the quote is attributed to Freud, it might as well have been Jung who said, "Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar." As the course progressed, I became increasingly frustrated by Dr. Domhoff's journal assignments. It was like being forced to wear a pair of glasses that only allowed in a narrow spectrum of light. For our final paper, I was allowed to choose my own topic, and by that point, I was so full of Freud that I thought, "You want imagery, buddy? I've got your imagery." I could easily have chosen Wagner's Die Walküre with its incestuous affair between fraternal twins. Not disturbing enough. I wanted something that would reflect that narrow beam of Freud right back at Dr. Domhoff so brightly it would torch his subconscious, like he had torched mine. I needed an opera, but something contemporary, and in English. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway by Genesis was the only way to go. Not only is Peter Gabriel's story and lyrics chock full of disturbing Freudian imagery, the fact that it is music-driven detours straight to that nerve located past the twilight zone. My paper succeeded and then some. In fact, it became a little like the plot line from The Producers. I had chosen something so crazy it came full circle. Dr. Domhoff loved the album and the story and went through all the lyrics with a fine-toothed comb. What I had thought were outrageous interpretations on my part were in fact too tame for him. Cupid's arrows have two tips. One is sharp and made of gold, which causes unbridled love. The other is soft and made of lead, which induces intense aversion. I was lucky. The arrow I chose had something precious at the end of it. It is impossible to turn lead into gold, but a golden arrow can turn into a pool of lead before your very eyes. Human behavior is the ultimate alchemy. Thanks for tuning in to episode 10 of Pink Elephant Foxtrot. Music was by Tom Young. Don't forget to help the show out by hitting that subscribe button. If you would like to become a sponsor, get in touch. Stretto@pinkelephantfoxtrot.com. Coming up on episode 11 of Pink Elephant Foxtrot, question: are we not men? Is the human race de-evolving? Can Overlord become Underlord? On the next episode of Pink Elephant Foxtrot, we take a steep slide down a cyber banister called de-evolution and ask the same question the band Devo asked almost 50 years ago. Are we not men? Coming up on episode 11 of Pink Elephant Foxtrot. Don't miss it.